Hello, everyone. Mike Arnold here, co-founder Path Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacchino. Fed meeting minutes today. Not much of a surprise there. They still think the economy is super strong. I tend to disagree. They see inflation risks the upside. I tend to agree. But then, should we be pausing in September? That's the big question as posed by Bostic. How is everyone doing? Hey, waka waka. I think you mean Nvidia tanking. Snow, I know they came out. Snowflake is melting. Shouldn't that be Snap, Crackle, and popping? Oh, I wonder why Snap is popping. We'll have to take a look. So, again, how is everyone doing? By the way, if you are new here, please do consider subscribing, ringing that bell, and hitting the like button. Longer term viewers, leave some comments and like the video. Leave some comments after the live stream is over, please. So, what's this is breaking. Musk commits to provide additional $6.25 billion in equity financing. Must boost aggregate amount of equity commitment to $33.5 billion. I guess that's in relation to the Twitter. The Twitter. So, what are we going to keep an eye out tomorrow? We had I called a weak sauce rally today. Nothing super surprising. Thanks for that information, Waka Waka. If you see anything else, please do put it in the chat while I keep going through stuff. Tomorrow, let's just recap. Oh, I hate when that pops like that. Just from today, just reminder, durable goods, pretty hefty miss. Pretty hefty miss on durable goods. So I think we're going into a pretty significant slowdown. Tomorrow, we have the second estimate of the GDP growth rate quarter over quarter. That's for Q1. Continuing, do we have the jobless claims stuff, GDP price index? That will be interesting to see. That's the one I'm really going to be focused on, along with the growth rate. Then we have pending home sales. We have the Kansas City composite. Be interesting to see if that takes a big hit like some of the other regional ones that have come out. And that is about it. You back to that map. Microsoft up pretty decent. Some little mixed in the mega caps. Tesla up a nice 4.88% after coming out of very oversold conditions. Going to start watching for the next rollover. A little pop in Amazon. Google, not much. Apple, pretty flat. You get some consumer discretionary, home improvement, getting a little pop there. Energy still on a run. Energy, so focus on from the weekly sector overview. Focus on oil-related stocks, and they are up nicely still. Healthcare taking a little pause. FOMC still for June. The 50 basis point baked in, nothing new based off the information from the minutes, and we're still in negative gamma territory by a fair amount. Who else has shown up? Let's see. We got more stuff from Waka Waka. Nvidia revenue guidance of 8.1 billion below estimate. I saw that they guided lower for second quarter. So the guiding lower, and that should definitely give it a hit. What a joke! Blame Russia again. Well, Russia's blame Russia again. This is that's a flavor of the day. You got to have something to blame, so you might as well blame Russia for everything. If you know what, we can blame Russia for everything. Good afternoon, Sashi. Tesla, Nvidia, AMD getting hammered after hours. We'll have to peek in on that. Thank you. Welcome, Wavy. Very poor guidance. Was disappointed that Google didn't even fill the gap. We can peek in at Google if you want, Raj. Yep, XOP hit the targets. There we go. Elon committed to the Twitter deal. He's buying the bird, huh? Because he can't get out of buying the bird. Again, we've already talked about that. Nvidia. Down after hours. Snowflake, I think I didn't have a chance to take that, but I think Waka Waka said Snowflake was melting. So that's probably, I really want to see where Williams-Sonoma is guiding. If anybody has anything on Williams-Sonoma or where they came out, I'd like to know. If you could put it in the chat. For tomorrow morning, definitely I'm going to peek in on Macy's just from the consumer aspect. Dollar Tree, definitely, and Dollar General. I really pay attention to those. Uh, that's about it, but nothing really that's going to rock the market. So maybe I'll peek at Alibaba. What else? Weak sauce rally. Weak sauce. We'll take a look at some of those stocks, but see, little pop up could not get the close above the 62.5. Poked above it, could not get the close, so we don't have the stats in our favor yet for a continued rally. This was actually a really disappointing afternoon for the bullish aspect. Disappointment from the afternoon. So, we'll take a look at that, but that could not get the close above the 62.5. Not a double top because not reversing enough of a move. Not a double top, not a double top. Pretty much what am I keying off of? 39.50 for first level overnight support. If we did break below that, the next area I'm going back down to is about 39.15. You can see all the support in here and the harmonic. So this first one, 39.50, is the 50% harmonic from this run up. The next one is the 37.5, and it just so happens to correspond really nicely with the price action. On a run up overnight, the key resistance now is coming in. You see also that declining trend line. We're coming in about 30. Why is that? Why am I? Hold on one second. Overnight, I'm 39.90 to about 39.96 is my first key level of resistance. Should it get any run up with that? And then this is also holds for tomorrow. If we do continue this weak sauce rally, 42.01 to about 42.20. I mean 4,021 to 4,024. Then 4,045 are the next intermediate targets to the upside. Bigger picture, cycle still turning up and not yet topped. But, this is just such a weak rally. And the other end is 4,000 up. I really can't talk today. 4,045 coming in at the upper end of the rotation zone. So that's really, if we can get that push, what I'm focused on. And yes, we do still have the bigger potential double in play. But at this point, with the market can't even get this going on, I'd be surprised if it triggered. If it does trigger, we go with it. But it can't get that. This is rather pathetic rally for turning up cycles, getting out of oversold condition, and it's just barely able to get a move on. NASDAQ, again, spiking into the daily rotation zone and then closing back down. NASDAQ can't get crap on. What am I watching? It's already dropped below this. I'm watching first level support about 11,765. Then I'll be focusing on about 11,693. So those are my two levels to the downside. Let me recolor code this one. Again, it's stalled out. Can't even get above that 50% and the daily rotation zone. Not looking at this as any kind of channel or flag pattern, but those are the levels. If we did have the bigger sell-off, I'd be back to 11,576. For tomorrow, we still do have this pullback does not invalidate this little double here. It is sloppy because it's flat area in this hitch, but 12,075. That's the key level for tomorrow, and then I'd be focusing on about 12,177 to about 12,327. The Dow actually closing again 3 days into the rotation zone. Could not get to that other edge yet. I'm still watching tomorrow. Here's my levels on any pullback tonight. About 31,785. Then roughly, This is just a mess, the Dow. Then I'm back to about 31,580.85 to about 31,640, and a bigger pullback, 31,6,370. We poke higher, 32,259 harmonic that has not been hit, and then I'm really focused on completing, since we did get the close above the 62.5. I'm really focused on this running up to about 32,400. Statistically, it now favors that, and that's right at the top of the daily rotation zone. That's about it. Russell outperforming today to the upside. Sort of funny enough, a lot of the most shorted stocks, there's a nice squeeze this afternoon in the most shorted. So people running into junk again with this little move up. So I don't have a lot of confidence yet in this move up. It has not done this. The breadth has not shown enough to get me really confident in it. 1823.30 next target if we do break above the 1805 again tomorrow. 1823 pullback level for me is about 1771. The DAX, nothing going here. Same commentaries this morning. Breakout or breakdown. Breakout about 14,180. Breakdown below about 13,825. Crude, not much. Still getting this key resistance. If it does break above this 111.50, there could be a little burst of momentum to the upside. But now we're in a very tight consolidation, so it's still the breakout or breakdown play. Gold, just a little pullback, then bounce. So we'll take a look at gold and silver tomorrow morning. Notes. The only thing I'm keeping an eye on, coming up to a significant level we had on the chart, the only thing I'm keeping an eye on is this little mini potential double. That would just be a little pullback within the bigger uptrend. That would need a close below 120.09 and a half. Let's see where we sit. Let me see who else is here. You were right, Mike. These Q2 earnings reports are hurting, and it's yeah, you're going to see, and we're getting revised guidance, and I think it's still going to they're going to guide lower, and then if they beat the lower guidance, it's going to get real ugly for Q2. But Q2, I'm not predicting a lot of good things, not a lot of good juju. Tesla next earning report is my most anticipated. A lot of people's. Day of double bottoms. We get and Waka Waka double top. Let's see. Volume seems super light today. Volume. Here's your volume. It was a little lighter, but not that much lighter. It's been roughly in sync with a lot of the on the bulb moves. It's been roughly in sync with all of those. Your sell-offs, we are in a downtrend, and you're natural when you're in a downtrend. You're going to see your higher volumes on the down days and the lower volumes on the up days. But this wasn't lower than any other. You can see here, big up day. Look, volume, up day, volume, up day, volume. It was roughly in line. Nothing out of the ordinary. Not terribly weak from my perspective. What else? Let's go back through some stuff. Boy. XOP, the S&P oil and gas, just continuing up and through to the final target from this double. So that is all finished, as Jake pointed out. I should add that into the sector overview. I'll have to remember that. If you are still long this, here's your next targets. This is a great area to use the reverse harmonics. Why? Because you're into new recent highs. You're coming up against this little resistance band right here. You see over here to the left. But then you get through there, you're into another clear path move. So miners 150.70, 153.72, and then your next major is the breakdown zone at 158.72. So there's all your next targets higher for XOP. Thanks for reminding me about that. Google. Let's see. Google. Oh, we got some alert going off. Must be some Amber Alert. Sorry, going off on my phone. Uh, yeah, Google has not been able to get much traction on with the gap fill and keep it. I mean, it's still possible if these markets can get a stronger rally on the gap fill. I wouldn't even be focused at this point to the closing with the gap fill. I'd be focusing to this key open also. And why would I shift my targets lower? At least to aggressively move up the stop, because that's where the declining rotation zone is. I mean, this has not been able to get much traction yet. It still can. Cycles are at the bottom for the daily and the weekly. This could, if the broad market can get some traction, you could eventually see this, at least the gap fill to the open, but not much going on there. What's the Twitter doing after hours? All right, we got a nice couple buck pop after hours. Just wanted to peek in on that. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla down after hours. Did not trigger this bigger double position. Rallied up straight to the 4-hour rotation zone. Little top above. Remember, we got a move above 62.5, and coming back, it favored a return to the 87.5, and that pinged it right there, and now back down after hours. All right, so this up move might be over. And couldn't fill the full gap before heading lower. It filled the gap to this bar's open, but not to the full close. Remember, the full gap fill had to be to this close, which it missed out on. Stalling out at that 87.5, now back down after hours. If we head lower tomorrow, we're going to have a triple bottom down here, which slightly favors the continuation play, and then I'm going down for the breakdown plays. And that would invalidate this potential double. After hours data does not necessarily invalidate the potential double. So, sorry, that was actually a tornado. A tornado warning. Yay, tornado warning. Yay. Goody, goody, goody. Boy, everything's going off around here. Time to evacuate, everybody. If I disappear, that's what happened. So that's what's going on with Tesla. We'll check in on that tomorrow morning. Where else do we sit? Will Amazon go down more like in 1800? Will it keep going like to 8? Longer term, yeah. I'm still expecting longer term. You want the longer term on Amazon? The longer term? I'm expecting I would target my next major targets on the next little push lower. On the next major push lower will be 1878 to about 1900. Remember, 1900 is going to be key. Why? Not only because it's the round number, which is ridiculously enough people target, but that's this run up. That is actually the run up from the '08 lows. Not just the COVID lows, the '08 lows, okay? So that's the 50% level. That is a very major level. So before I'd be targeting 1800, I'd be targeting 1900. 1900 would be very, very key. And then if we did drop below that, 1880 to 1900 and below that, then it favors 1708 if we keep going. By the way, the double play still is, it's a potential. It is still in play on Amazon, but that doesn't have to trigger. Snowflake. Oh, boy. Wah, 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 wah. Thank you for playing, Snowflake. How did that get messed up? Snowflake next key level is 104.27. So I bet you we tag that in the next few days. And that, where it is after hours, would, if it gaps down there, would completely invalidate that potential double. Did Snowflake give bad guidance? because they beat on earnings, they beat on revenue, but they must have given a guidance. Nvidia bouncing now. Well, it's getting a little bounce, but this pretty much, if it opens down here, that's just going to be a mess. Their guidance, I say we're going to tag this 87.5, this 144.50. I'd be shocked if this double now triggers, because now we're getting to a multi-side right-hand bottom, which is going to invalidate it. But that's not much of a bounce. GME to the moon. What, with this big day? That's what I'm telling you. When we got this rally, you got the crap stuff, the shorted stuff rallying today. Okay, we got the crap rallying, which really gives me suspect in these markets. This is just, we had some pretty decent short squeezes today, and GME was an aspect of that. That will just be another rollover play. Yeah, Apple's still very weak. Apple's not getting traction. Oh boy, now I got the sirens going off. I might have to wrap this up a little early, guys. Apple, not much of a bounce. I mean, up. That's weak. That is really weak. WSM is killing it. Williams Sonoma. Well, that's what I wanted. So they crushed. Wow, they blew away earnings. Holy smokes! What's their guidance? Holy smokes! Look at that move, Williams Sonoma. Be interesting. I bet you this sets up for another great rollover play. All right. Let's see. This FOMC spike up was the exact same as a Fed spike move for move. Fed tanked hard the next day. Thanks for that information, Waka Waka. Remind me of that tomorrow morning. Elon may have to sell more Teslas for the Twitter deal now. Yeah, well, you can't listen to what Elon says. Elon says whatever he wants. Well, that was pretty interesting with also Williams Sonoma. Bounced off that 200-week. Remember, I was watching for a lot of things to reconnect with our 200 weeks. Reconnection, then a nice little bounce up. I bet you, though, with rollover, this will be another great rollover play coming up. I bet you second quarter is going to get a little ugly for them. So this could be a nice little pop for a rollover play and then a gap fill play too. How would you approach Vail as a potential short for the double top? The daily cross just occurred too. How would you approach Vail as a potential short for the double top? Are you talking this old double top in the daily? I'd just be watching for, I'm just seeing if there's anything in here. Because this is not a double. So the only double I've seen on there is the one from earlier. And with that cross of the daily, I'd only be targeting shorts again if it starts to really break down. I wouldn't be playing this hard to the short side right now. It just missed that second target with that double bottom. Went to full target on that double and now has kept going. I would be very hesitant with dealing anything from the short side until we got closed back below 1567. And then if it moves higher, I keep raising this retracements. I'd stay off of shorts for the time being off this. from my standpoint. Just missing that second target. And up between the 50 and the 62, I'd watch for a potential, if it does keep rallying, for a potential topping pattern up here. So either it has to break down lower or we have to get a topping pattern up in this area, because then I can use a tight stop above the 62.5 on a closing basis. So that's sort of in no man's land. I wouldn't be playing it right now from the short side just yet. Are we going to see SPY going up anytime soon, or do we have to wait till CPI and the Fed meeting for us to go? I mean, you still have the patterns in here, but it's stalling out with the futures. We can't get that close above. You statistically watch for this. If it can get the close above 398 roughly, 398. I can't give you the exact. 398.06 or something, then it starts favoring statistically to run to the other end of the daily rotation zone in 405. And by the way, this other longer term double is still in play, but has not triggered yet. So that's the only thing. I get a little more bullish. I was watching this today to see if the futures and the spiders closed above the 61.5. They did not. So I'm still slightly bullish, but it's getting to more of a neutral perspective until we can really see some decent strength in there. Box EPS miss. I'm going to have to probably wrap this up early, get the puppies to safety. One of them I'll have to carry into the basement because he won't go downstairs. Thank you for thinking of the dogs, Patrick. Let's see. Let me just go through these real quick. Box. Ooh. Yeah, they got boxed. Again, when you're against the rotation zones, things favor the lower prices. Daily rotation zone. Drop after hours, they missed. Stuff's just not looking good. GPS. When are their earnings? That's tomorrow. Yeah, this would be, if it does bounce, I'd just be the gap. I'd be watching for another rollover play. If it does bounce into earnings, I'd be watching for another rollover play. Other than that, I'm not touching things going into earnings unless I'm very familiar with the company. Lauren, you keep winning. You keep winning the live streams with your super stickers. Thank you very much, Lauren. Lauren single-handedly is keeping the channel going. Everybody, give another big shout-out to Lauren. And also, Raj, give another big shout-out to Raj and Lauren, the donations for the day. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. I'm a genius. I wouldn't go that far. I'm just trying to help everyone learn some price action stuff, and I really do. That's why I like these donations, because it keeps me going, especially on days I'm super tired and not feeling so hot. So thank you for those super sticker and the super chat. You are amazing. Thank you so much. That where my mind was to. Okay, if you have time, I'm curious of your thoughts on the CVS double top. Let me clean up this from before. CVS double top still completely in play. This was just a move down stop. I'm watching for another rollover move in this. So this one's completely in play. I'd just be watching on a shorter term basis, sitting against the weekly rotation zone. The daily rotation zone. And you got the first cross of weekly. So even if it has a little more upside, I'd be watching for another topping pattern to reestablish a rollover play in CVS. Personally, I'm just looking to see if there is one. There's nothing great yet. You really start breaking down, though, off this rally, and here's If you don't get a topping pattern, here's how you use it. You start breaking below. I mean, you might get some advanced warning because this little swing low here. You see this little spike low here from the 24th of May. You start breaking back below that, I'd start targeting the breakdown play even before it hits the 62.5. And then the close below the 62.5 would be the breakdown play. That's how I like to play these. If I don't have a strong topping pattern that kicks in before then, and why would I wait? Because now it's sitting just back above this 200. So I got to give this a little room to get some downward momentum, and then I keep playing this to the downside for the next targets. Nothing's changed there. You see, just closing above that 50-week. But this has still room to go to the downside easily longer term. And earnings aren't until, August now. So if markets roll over again, this thing could go with it. So I'd be patient if you're not still short. And remember, this was stop reduction. If you're not still short, and if you're playing it with options, you can also use these to unwind some positions too. I would look to reestablish slightly higher, or unless it breaks down. Again, educational purposes only. Hey, Raj, since I got to wrap this up, can you put some of those in probably tomorrow? Could you do this? Could you come back with these tomorrow? And everybody check out what Raj is saying. And if you're watching this on demand or the replay, you might want to look at these. Raj is really good with a lot of these stocks. So remind me, we'll go through those tomorrow if you don't mind, Raj. The weather's just risky here. Thank you. I will stay safe. I got my safe area in the house all mapped out. Lauren is the GOAT. Will you be able to teach us how to do this? John. All right, answer some stuff for John. How many people have learned stuff just by tuning in every day to these live streams? How many people, just by tuning in on a regular basis, how many people have picked up exactly what I'm doing? Yes, and I'm committed to teaching you guys. And John, if you're not already in Discord, get on Discord. Yeah, Laura and I completely agree. You are welcome, Wavy. Yeah, don't need to look. These are bullish. Just remind me tomorrow because they're going to disappear with this live stream, and I don't want to sit here and write them down right now. But remind me. We'll go through some of these. Or me. I learned just watching, John. That's all you have to do. And I walk through things repeatedly. Watch every video. Learn. You will learn a ton. Patrick's new. Just 2 weeks, he's learned a lot. Thank you, Patrick. Patrick, thank you for tuning in. I hope you subscribe to the channel. And if you're not, please come to Discord. It's a $10 one-time fee. I'm not even charging reoccurring stuff there. I'm just trying to get people together to discuss all this. George, you're getting there. Okay. And I'll release some courses. I'm just trying to still stay focused on the live stream. I'm recording stuff. It's just with the day, the time runs out in a day. Yeah, and videos I put out 2-3 years ago, take a look. EMAs, there's a lot on this channel. Mike is my true brother. Well, you tip your brother very well, Lauren. Yeah, the Discord chat is very, I post some stuff in there, but people are really good with the Discord. Thank you for following since 2018, Raj. Mike is Einstein. Well, I don't think I'd go that far. I'm just pretty good at this stuff, I think. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I have a different outlook than a lot of people on technical analysis. I've come up with a lot of these concepts myself just through years of work, and I try to do a different spin on stuff other than what a lot of people put out there. instead of throwing up 100 indicators and all the standard stuff people are doing. I'm trying to show everybody a slightly different take on stuff. And there's stuff I do that I don't put up on this channel just to not overcomplicate it. I learn, I laugh. You're brilliant. Well, thank you for that kind comment. Mike is buried if he was a day trader. I want it in on Discord. Just go click the link in the description. I'll get the email and I'll send you the link invite. He loves charts, but he does lots of swing trading. And everything I do, you can do swings with this. I try to focus on a bunch of different time frames for people. Finally, it's official. Cruise Wi-Fi is worse than dial-up. Well, at least you're on a cruise on it. How do I join? Again, go to the description. Go back on YouTube at the end of this video, and it's in the description. It says join Discord server. Click on the link. There's a one-time $10 fee, and I will send. And you send an email to. It tells you, but send an email once you join to support at Pat Trading Partners, and I will get you the link. I wish you were on this cruise in a better market. Yeah, I wish there'll be a great market again at some point. I'm going to wrap this up just because of risky weather conditions, and we've gone a lot. We've already gone a lot. So, again, thank you, everybody. NVIDIA gonna bet you test these lows overnight. Oh, by the way, if you want the short-term levels, if you're trading the short-term and if we do break down tomorrow, this is where you're going to want to use your reverse harmonics. All right, so you're going to go from this swing high on the 17th back to the swing low on the 12th, and your two short-term harmonics, should you break below 155.67, 152.17, 148.66, and then the major level is 144.60. I'm leaving it at that. With that, I am going to wrap it up. Thank you, John. See everybody tomorrow morning. Reminder, economic calendar, 7:30 Central. We have a bunch of core numbers coming out. So don't be caught off guard. I will be live streaming at 8. So we will review that and set up for tomorrow's price action. Everybody have a wonderful evening. I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.